Ride with me. It's Sunday, so it's a chill day today. Huey and I already jumped a couple times this week and he was fabulous, so we're just having a little flat today. Sundays are the one day a week I try and not do a ton of work, and if I do, it's something just for myself or a new project that I'm super inspired by, but otherwise it's a reset day with as much time at the barn as I want, so that's exactly what I did today. And it got kind of chilly again this week, which I'm okay with because I have a ton of sweaters that I didn't get to wear in Florida, so I'm wearing them now. This whole outfit today is from Ariat, including my Ravello boots, which somehow I've had almost 2 years now, and there's no tears or anything. They're a little dirty. I need to get better at that, but I just love these boots. And I wish I had videos from Huey and I's jump session a couple of days ago. I myself was feeling super out of it and weak. We've not been jumping a whole lot the past few months, but he was jumping around like it was an equitation championship. I'm like, I do not deserve you. And we went over our show plans. I think we're doing 3 weeks in May, which is kind of a lot, but I'm super excited and I want to get in as much as we can before June, which is looking like it's going to be a very exciting and busy month of work travel, so stay tuned for that, but I don't want to jinx anything by talking about it. So anyways, he was perfect today.
Spend the day with me. So first of all, it's time to leave for the yard. I got to the yard at around 6:45 this morning and I was greeted by a very sleepy Mayo this morning. Just look at his little face. We had a lesson yesterday, so he was very, very tired today. But after he finally got out of bed, it was time to pop him into the cross ties, to take his fleece off and to give him a little groom before getting him ready for our ride this morning. So usually after a lesson I would give him a day off, but I'm actually away with work this weekend, so he's going to have a quiet few days, so I thought it was best to give him another school before he has a quiet few days. And then of course it was time for a little morning stretch from him as well, which is just so cute. And then my mum came up with a Costa, which was so nice, so I had that quickly before I got on and rode. So I'm super pleased with how Mayo's going at the moment. He's really developing his trot, and we've actually started trying a few flying changes as well, which he's picked up really quickly and he's finding quite easy so far, so I'm super pleased with that. So after riding, it was time to head to the South of England show, which is where Gallop will be trading this weekend. So me and Mum went to go and get the stand set up, and there was just so much to do. It was quite overwhelming first thing this morning, but we finally got it done. So make sure to come and see us at the South of England show from Friday until Sunday this week. So we finished there at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So then it was time to head over and get some breakfast to treat ourselves for all of our hard work this morning. I then went back to the yard and went out to a show with my friend Eve, who did super well on her gorgeous boy Kenny. He was such an angel. And then it was time to head back to the yard. Come to a British dressage competition with me. So first things first, it's time to get Mayo clean and look at the state of him this morning. It's that real awkward time of year where the horses are naked at night, naked during the day, and he's just been getting so gross recently. So it's time to give him a nice bath, which I'd like to think that he enjoys, but I'm not too sure if he does. So I actually shampooed and washed him 3 times today, and he still looked a little bit yellow, but it's fine. I'm just going to grin and bear it. But anyway, I got him platted up and loaded, and it was off to the show. So today we were doing 2 elementary tests. This is only our second time competing at elementary level, and I'm honestly in shock with how much harder these new elementary tests seems to be compared to the last ones. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but they ride so much harder. So he warmed up beautifully. I was so pleased with him, and he's just feeling so much more confident in the arena as well. So we went in and we did, I think it was elementary 5 first, and he was such a good boy. We got 68%, and then in elementary 4 we got 68% as well. So we got a first and second place today. So I'm super pleased with him and cannot wait to go to the next one.
Let's get Piper ready and
like all night, and she looking like a zombie in her all right. Yeah, she looking for a handout. She think of shit and me, she in a band now. Pull up in the truck, pick it up like a limousine. Looking like a blast from the past, look like a legend. And you're the only Tennessee, and I hope you like Hennessy. And why, aren't you into me? You only call me on the weekend. You only love me when you're free.
pick up my new horse. You guys may remember this pony, and you may also remember me begging you to be a good influence. And instead I got 5,000 comments of people telling me to buy the pony. Now if that isn't a sign from the universe, I don't know what is. So today we are down at Bremount House to take one more look at this infamous bay mare and maybe add her to the M crew. Massive shout out to Emily Larkin for producing such a cool little pony. And here she is in all her glory. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. My comments have been flooded with bay mare update, bay mare update. Well, listen guys, one thing about me, I'm a people pleaser, okay? You tell me to get the pony, I'm gonna give the people what they want. And to be perfectly fair, I think I made up my mind the second I sat on her anyway. Cat break, I found this cat. She's so cute. I was so obsessed with her. Anyway, the plan for today was obviously pick up the pony, but also to get a little lesson on her before I took her home. Because obviously the wonderful Emily has spent the entire year breaking and producing this horse and knows her like the back of her hand, whereas I don't know her at all, so I will take all the pointers I can get. Emily hopped on her first and rode her around a little bit on the flat, and then after that it was my turn. We had a really nice little ride. I got to know her a bit more, had a little jump, but you're gonna have to be patient to see the full version of that. Oh Molly, not the cliffhanger. I'm sorry, okay? Here's a couple of clips to tide you over. Look at us go. Just hold your horses for the full thing. Get it? Like, get it? Pun intended. After my lesson on her, Emily and I took a little jaunt down the bridleway. I'm not kidding guys, this horse is literally a old head on young shoulders. She's only 4 and nothing phases her. There was puddles, there was balloons, there was birds coming out, we even jumped this random little twig. She literally, whatever you want her to do, she's got it. Which makes me very excited because we're out here aiming to be eventers, so this is a good sign. And I know what you're thinking, 3 horses, Molly? Are you crazy? Yeah, probably. I'll tell you what I actually am, is very impulsive and easily influenced, and you guys wanted this, so we're in this together. This is our pony. So there's one more thing I need your help with. We must give our pony a name. It can't be called Bay Mare forever, and I'm gonna let you guys decide because this is our pony. My only requirement is that it has to begin with an M. We've got a bit of a theme going on here with Molly Misty Moonlight, so she's got to fit the M crew. I'm trusting you.
Alabama, Arkansas, I do love my mom, but not the way I do love you. Well, holy moly, me oh my, you're the apple of my eye. Girl, I've never loved one like you. Man, oh man, you're my best friend. I scream into the nothingness. There ain't nothing that I need.
I'm on the run with you, my sweet love. There's nothing wrong. Contemplating God under the chemtrails over the country club.
Come to the barn with me. So I have a lesson today and it got below 80 degrees, so I decided to bring out the turtleneck. My boots are really dirty. I know I have to polish them. Then I went downstairs and I grabbed some carrots to give to Arius after we rode. And am I the only one that uses my helmet as a basket? I don't know if that's a universal thing. I've had a flat tire for I don't know how long. I think it's a nail in my tire, but whatever. Definitely should get that fixed. I'm not kidding. It literally got below 80 degrees and I put on a turtleneck. Then I got to the barn, tacked Arius up. We got ready for our lesson. Please ignore his halter. I bought him a new one. We had an accident last week where another horse basically ran through the cross tie and ripped his halter off. He's fine. It's okay. We're over that. I've been riding consistently now for I would say 3 months and he looks so good. He's put on so much muscle and he's a horse that just loves his job. He gets bored so easily. Then we walked over to the ring. I got on and warmed him up a bit. He is the laziest animal I have ever ridden in my life, but I love him so much. Today we did some gymnastics, which honestly he needed. I want him to lift his legs a little bit more over the jump and just bring his knees up higher, so this would help him do that. And it also helps me with like my position over the jump. It was a good day for us overall. I'm really proud of him. He's such a good boy. I gave him his carrots, but it was cool out, so he really didn't sweat that much. So I just kind of like rinsed off his legs, and wherever he was sweaty, I put ice on his legs because he hadn't done that kind of jumping in a while. So I didn't want him to be super sore the next day. I cleaned my tack and then I gave him a little bit of a spur rub. So I put some ointment on it. I'm gonna start wearing a belly guard to avoid that from continuing to happen. He's just such a good boy. He's so cute. He has horrible ground manners. He loves to bite you for fun, and I just don't learn my lesson, and that's okay. I love him so much. He bit my pinky. And that's it. Bye.
Hey guys, come to the yard with me. So I'm wearing Aztec Diamond leggings and Holland and Cooper jumper. A little bit of a different video, but I thought I'd bring you with. Got to the yard, put my boots on, they're De Niro's, and then when I saw a little man, had to wash his legs because they were filthy. So I purple shampoo him to try and get the orangeness out, which tends to work quite well. Then I tacked up. We've got a jump saddle, a Voltaire one, I really like it. Eric goes really nicely in it. Here's Eric just being nosy. And then I put a bridle on. This is a PS of Sweden bridle, really nice again. And then I thought I'd show you put my helmet on, but Eric just thought it was funny and knocked my phone off, which was not very helpful. So then got on and we was ready for our hack. Here we are. We went through the woods and Eric was actually really naughty today. But I got back to the yard and saw Obi. He's like literally a big bear. Gave her some treats and a kiss and that was all. Bye guys.
I need therapy, but I'm gonna try horseback riding instead.
I got to the barn bright and early and said good morning to the horses. Tokyo was throwing a temper tantrum per usual, and then I ran into my trainer's guard dog doing what he does best, sleeping. Then I go over and I get Piccolo tacked. He's 30, but he does not look a day over 29. I've only done this a couple times, so bear with me, but I brush him out, I get a saddle on, and then I struggled pretty bad with the bridle. Yeah, my trainer had to come over and help me. Then I put my helmet on because I am in fact about to ride a 1,200-pound wild animal. I've only been riding for 2 months, so please do not judge how bad I still am, but I got to canter today. Woohoo! After Piccolo cooled down, I gave him a bath, which I think is his favorite part of the day, and then I got him all settled in and finished off with some cuddles.
Go horse riding. We've arrived! You know, part 2. I'm so nervous. Anyway, this is the boot. Sticky. Horse riding pants are like the ultimate wedgie, going straight up there, no breathing room, and there's a front seam. Just picture that. Don't picture that.
This is Stella. You would have met her last time.
Oh! It's like my doll. You know, it's crazy that this horse has surrounded this place. Imagine it was the purge. I know that they'd come straight for me. Dude, seriously, I don't want to get buffed. This is the pro, Ella. I'm in the firing range of getting kicked.
Like, doesn't she like meat?
Brisket or something. Yeah, she smells like brisket. She smells like she's been on the spit. It's fucking putrid. Smell it. Why do hooves smell like that? Because she steps it. No, that smells actually. I've never smelt that smell before. I can still. It's wafting. It is my turn to ride. Okay, Georgia's ready to get on. It's Big G's turn. Stella's in a good. Yep, right, yep. Like it natural. Being ready for round 2 is to trot. And as I said before, major PTSD. A different direction now. Georgia's gonna do a jump and it's gonna be great. Just remember to hold on to the mane. Yeah, that's it. Dude, there's nothing to hold on to. No way she can jump that. That's huge. Oh my gosh! That is wild. Congrats.
Come ride with me. We are back into the swing of things. The sun has come out, the arena has dried up, and it is time to get back into our rhythm of riding. The arena certainly took longer to dry it than I expected, and that means we've had a lot more rain than I have actually realised. Nonetheless, I got Donna out of her paddock and I tacked her up, got myself dressed and ready, and then headed up to the arena. And here you will see me talking to Donna because she was spooking at something that was going on behind the shed. So I was just talking to her and hoping that she would stay calm while I was away from her. We headed up to the arena and we had a lovely warm-up, and then we got to business. Donna was such a good girl today and I really felt like we made some really good progress. We compete next weekend, so I'm glad that we're feeling good together. We're actually travelling all the way to Albury, which is quite a distance from where I live in Sydney, but it's going to be lots of fun because there's a whole lot of friends going as well, so it's going to be a little bit of a staycation as well as a weekend competing. After our ride, we had a lovely walk and cool down around the property, and then it was time to dismount and get Donna back to the wash bay, untack her and hose her down. I don't normally hose down on my helmet and boots, but she was being really spooky, so I didn't feel like I could walk away. So here I am, getting her all ready to go back in the paddock.
tack up and ride Blossom with me. So Blossom is a client's polo pony. If you watched my last vlog, you would have seen her before. This week I've been riding both Blossom and Apricot, who are my clients' 2 matching chestnut polo pony mares. They are purpose-bred and trained for polo, and this mare completely changed my mind about chestnut mares. She is the sweetest horse, such a hard worker, really willing. I really love working with this horse. So this is one of those jobs that does not feel like work at all. So I take her into the arena. When I got on, she immediately tries to rush off because, again, if you've ridden polo ponies, you'll know they're not great at walking, but we need to do some walk and some trot. Then we get into some canter. I always start with circle work because, again, rideability is so important for chasing polo balls. Then we do the fast stuff, which she loves, just making sure she's really happy to accelerate off my leg really quickly. Cooled her off. Then it was time to untack her, take all of her gear off. She got a hose and a sweat scrape, and then she was ready to go back to the paddock. Come with me to the first show of the year. So had to start by bribing Voluto not to run around all day. Then I went and got Winnie and I floated him without his tail bag because you guys know what happened last time. It was disgusting. This was the result. It wasn't too bad. So we got to Piersdale. Luke went and got a coffee and I groomed Winnie and got him all tacked up. Don't look at the saddle blanket. I promise next show that will be in a better state. I swear. Maybe even a new one. Maybe we'll treat ourselves. Then I tacked up. I was wearing the most luxurious show set from HH Equestrian. This is my absolute new favorite Holy Grail show shirt. I cannot tell you how beautiful it looked and it kept me so cool all day. It is incredible. Highly, highly recommend. So then I warmed up for our first round, popped over everything. This is the first time he's ever jumped on grass and he was a little bit sticky and unsure, but he got more and more confident. I was really happy with all of this round. And then after we pop around here, I could feel him just start to back off my leg a little and I got some kind of awkward. There I just tried to get out of his way and here I said, come on, we can just do it at trot. Gave him the biggest pat in the world because I don't care it was messy. All I wanted to say was, you gave it a go. You kept going forward. You did awesome. You guys all came up and met him today and gave him a cuddle and he absolutely loved that. Then it was time for the jump off. And after building his confidence and affirming, it really doesn't matter what stride we get. We just have to go forwards and straight. I could see all of that come out in Blossom and he absolutely shone here, even here when he thought we were jumping the wrong jump. I redirected him, got him back on path, and we actually came third, which you will see later. We got our first ever ribbon. As you can see, I was over the moon. So happy with him. Then it was time for the next round. This brick wall terrified me. The whole time around this course, I was thinking about this brick wall. And I don't think enough people know that you can go and present to a jump and have a look, as long as you don't go through the start flags before your round starts within that 45 seconds. Here, this was 1.5, and I was considering sitting him back to try and get a 2, and it was just too awkward. As you can see, the brick wall was no issues, and here he just ran out of puff a little. His fitness definitely isn't there, but I gave him the biggest pats. I was so happy. I was over the moon. I just have so much trust and love for this horse. Here's Luke going and getting his water. We then treated ourselves to a little burger. We gave Winnie a wave. This was his first ever time at the float by himself. And then I went and got his ribbon. I showed Winnie his ribbon. We were so proud of him, took some photos, and then it was time to go home. And that was a very successful show.
Come horse riding with me. This is lesson number 31. You guys know how much I hate taking time away from riding. I was looking for a new riding school because my current one didn't have the availability, but we managed to figure it out. Now I have a guaranteed slot just for me every week. And guys, my trainer is very much booked and busy. Very lucky if you get a slot with her, so I'm feeling super grateful. Quick recap if you haven't seen the last episode. I have a new trainer and we've gone back to basics, so heavily focused on form, no cantering, just a walk and trot for now. Thank you all for letting me know. It's very normal to go back to the basics even if you've been riding for years. This lesson was mentally challenging more than anything else because I had to come to terms with the fact that I have had 30 plus lessons now and my form is still not good. If you ever try to tell me that I'm arching my back and I didn't listen, I am sorry. In my defense, this had never been pointed out to me until now. So I have a bunch of bad habits that I now have to unlearn and then relearn the right way of doing things. Obviously, taking time off in between lessons doesn't help, but now that I have my weekly slot, that won't be happening. I'll be honest, I did feel embarrassed about having to return to basics after I started cantering. You all know that's been a huge goal of mine. And next lesson, I will ask my trainer what I need to do, what I need to focus on in order to get back to that point. But the fact I have support from so many of you keeps me going. I can't thank you enough. And please keep giving me tips because I've realised the majority of you want me to do well and you know what you're talking about. The journey is tough, especially in learning to ride as an adult. I can't tell you guys the amount of times I've not wanted to post my video because I felt like my riding just wasn't good enough to be posted. But I've always said, if you're looking for the perfect rider, don't come to my page. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the vibes and outfits, nothing else. I'm joking. I'm here to have fun, of course. I'm here to learn most importantly and hopefully inspire other people to take up this incredible sport because it has changed my life. I've spoken on it before, but my mental health is a lot better since I started riding. I love that everyone's like, oh, you look so happy when you're riding. I love seeing you constantly smiling, and I am happy, don't get me wrong, but most of the time I'm smiling just to ease the pain because otherwise I'll cry. So, you know, just want to put that out there. Obviously, don't let that put you off, but just don't ever think this is an easy sport. Because it's not. It's hard, and I have respect for every single person who rides horses. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the progress 10 lessons from now. Hopefully I can get back to cantering by then, but even if I don't, I trust my trainer and I know I'll get there when the time's right. That marks the end of my lesson. As always, I've put some behind the scenes clips on my Instagram stories so you can go and watch them there. I'll be back next week, so I'll see you all then. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Bye.
Let's do a haul of everything I got at Equitana. First of all, you might notice I'm wearing a hat, and I don't always wear hats, but this is the world's most special hat. This is my hat that I did exclusive for Equitana with Sen. I only had 25 of these hats available for each day, and I didn't even know if we would sell them all, and they were gone in minutes. And the most special part about these hats is they were $10, and all $10 went directly to Project Hope, which is a horse rescue and rehabilitation in Victoria. Now, on to the other things. First of all, Eloquence Equestrian. You know, I've been talking about them literally for 4 days straight. But on day 2, I popped in there and I bought this saddle blanket. They are so passionate about their products. They sent me a message and they wanted to gift me some things, and their generosity is, wait till you see this. So first of all, these breeches are Eloquence Equestrian. So beautiful. They have a zip pocket, which I love. These are a performance type made by riders for riders. They also gave me this sleeveless top that I wore yesterday. They then gifted me the same performance tights in navy. They also gifted me one of the sleeveless tops in white, so that will be my new show shirt. They also gifted me this jacket, and I have to put it on so you guys can see how sculpting it is. Stop it! They also gifted me some socks. The most beautiful hat with a crown, because this is a queen's hat. They also gifted me this black top, and I don't know if you can see, but the sleeves are mesh. This is going to be a lifesaver for summer. And finally, they gifted me a second saddle blanket. It is just so chic and so luxurious. Next, I was gifted the most luxurious, incredible piece of art I will ever own from Boss Equestrian. Are you seeing this? The detail is insane. The technology behind this rug actually shines your horse for you. I actually think I could just wear this as like a fur coat. They also gifted me these 2 hats. His for Luke and hers for me. I have an entire another video coming of all the notes and friendship bracelets and pictures and little gifts you guys gave me. I was going to show them in this video, but I feel like they need their whole own special moment. But there's a couple things in this video I want to show you. A couple of you gifted me this incredible halter that I have kind of claimed for Voluto, but it's warm blood, so I hope you guys don't mind if it ends up on Swayze, because I think his head is going to fit this best. And then someone else also gifted me the cutest little rope halter for Missy. And you guys know I love my rope halters and she doesn't have one, so I cannot wait to use this on her. You guys are always asking me to get a pink saddle blanket, and Silverleaf Equestrian gifted me the ultimate Barbie saddle blanket. I am so excited to style this saddle blanket, and I think you can see it's a bit shimmery and shiny. It's just so luxe. HLH Equestrian gifted me this beautiful black basic t-shirt with the most chic little detailing. So I love this because black, white, neutrals, I can style them with anything. This one I wore on day 3 of Equitana. I also grabbed it in blue. I got this grey one because again, I can style it with anything. This is this beautiful coral color. I was actually gifted this pink top, which I've been eyeing off from them for ages. Luke also topped up on some Sen collagen. I used their other collagen. I was gifted some shampoos, conditioners, and a degreaser, which I've never heard of this, but it sounds incredible. They also gave me a cap, and I love this color. And also this Equine Sun Protected, which is so important coming into summer.
Somewhere to start. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
If my body was a boat, could you steer that sailor? Make it feel like it's a 1960s Hollywood trailer. Classic like cars, classic like Elizabeth Taylor.
Come horse riding with me. This is lesson 19. Another day, another cute outfit, because why not? Today's focus was on balance and improving my overall position in the saddle. So of course that means stirrupless. Having no stirrups almost forces you to sit deep into your saddle. So I think that means the way I'm sat right now is the position I should be keeping all the time. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm still learning this stuff. But in this position, I am keeping that line through my shoulders, hip and heel. Into sitting trot now. And as you can see, I'm swaying my shoulders left to right. Funnily enough, someone in my comments told me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. My trainer saw this and was like, absolutely not. So you want to keep your shoulders still because swaying is what actually knocks you off balance. I always appreciate people's tips as long as you're not being rude, but please remember guys that just because something works for you doesn't necessarily mean that's the correct way of doing it. Today I learned you can't give too much rein in a sitting trot because then your horse will just speed up, and you also can't take your legs off him completely because then he'll slow down to a walk. So you want to use a perfect balance of the two to keep him going at a steady pace. This is my first ever attempt at a half halt. Obviously this is a fail because a half halt is supposed to slow him down, not make him stop completely, but we move. I love Bush more and more every lesson because I feel like as soon as I learn something new, he will test me on it immediately. Right here, he's like, well, you've given me all this rein. What do you think I'm going to do with it? I'm sure he could sense how excited I was by the mini canter we done last lesson. So he was like, let's do it again. If you ask me, I think this is his way of saying, Christina, I think you're ready to canter now. Come on. I want to know if it's just me who prefers a stirrupless canter because this felt very comfortable. I'm curious as to why a lot of riders hate doing stirrupless. I find this really fun, so please let me know your reasons. Anyway, we done sitting trot for a solid 15 minutes. Whole time I was thinking, how the hell have I not even come close to slipping off yet? And the answer is sticky bum leggings. They make a huge difference. So if you slip about in your saddle a lot like I do, get yourself some. Guys, as much as you lot send me messages and comments thanking me for sharing my journey and telling me how much my videos have helped you, I equally have to thank you for the overwhelming support I receive. And I feel like I say it a lot, but I'm not going to stop saying it. You have no idea how much your positive feedback uplifts me, gives me a boost in these lessons, and just stops me from beating myself up. So if you've ever taken the time to leave me an encouraging comment or send me a DM, I appreciate you so much. Now we ended the lesson with some rise and trot. You may or may not notice, but I hope you do, that I'm no longer using the reins to pull myself forward, and that is a huge achievement for me. Again, I put that down to everyone leaving me feedback and pointing that out to me repeatedly. Reading through you guys' feedback is really helping me progress even faster, and for that, I'm truly grateful. That marks the end of my lesson. Bush done amazing as always, so you know I had to give him a much deserved treat. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you all. See you next time. Bye.